Hi, and welcome to the presentation video of Protector 22.5. I am Piero, Technical Director of Checkpoint, and I'm going to drag you through the main features of this new release. The first feature we are going to talk about is the VPN function. This new feature allows you to establish a VPN tunnel between two Protector units. Through a VPN tunnel, the two subnets under the two protectors become visible to each other. If we want to create a tunnel, we can go here, VPN tunnels, and here we can see the main VPN window with the list of already defined VPN tunnels and here a control panel. If we want to create a new tunnel, we can click here, add a new VPN tunnel, otherwise we can click on the tunnel name to edit the parameter of an existing tunnel. Here we have one tunnel already defined, which is London Boston. This name must be exactly the same as the name of the tunnel on the other endpoint. We can go here to the second protector. Here I have created the second endpoint of the same tunnel. Here we can edit the definition of the same tunnel on the other endpoint. We can see that the names are exactly the same, including the upper and lower cases. On the first protector, we see that I have defined this endpoint as master endpoint, while the second protector is not master endpoint. Keep alive means that the tunnel must be on whenever the VPN service is on. The same is on the other protector. Here we have to define the IP addresses of each endpoint. Then on each endpoint we have to enter the IP addresses of the local and remote subnet, and then we have to enter the public IP of the remote endpoint. This IP is the same IP that we find as local IP on the second protector. Then here this subnet is defined as subnet of the remote protector. So all these parameters have to be entered in agreement with each other, as well as the pre-shared key, which must be exactly the same between the two protectors. Of course, one of the protectors must be defined as master and the second one must not be defined as master. The difference is that a master endpoint, when you turn on the service, will actively try to establish a connection with the other endpoint. Instead, a branch endpoint, when you turn on the service, will enter in a wait state for incoming connections from the head endpoint. Now we can save parameters on both protectors, and we can try to start the service. Here we are on the branch endpoint. We can enable the VPN. Here we see some clocks, which means that the protector is trying to pull up the service. Okay, now we have this branch endpoint waiting for incoming connection. If we go to the main protector and we enable the service, this protector will start the tunnel with the other endpoint. Here we are, the tunnel is active. If we go to the second protector, we see that the tunnel is active as well here too. On the protector you can define more than one tunnel, and you can add another one by clicking here. At this point it is important to notice that the difference between this button and the flag keep alive in this window is that if you uncheck this flag, you will shut down this tunnel. Instead, if you click this button, you will shut down all the tunnels in the protector. Another interesting feature we have added is the blanket block. With this new function, you can totally disable web surfing for a group or for the whole subnet under the protector. You find this function in the web filter configuration menu. Here, if you click on blanket block, you will enable this feature, and from this moment you will disable web surfing for the whole subnet under the protector or for the default group if you have defined a group policy. Now, let's suppose that I don't want to disable web surfing to the whole subnet, but only for a group. So, we go to the group policies, we find the blanket block flag here too, so I can decide that I want to create a new group and define the blanket block for that group only. For example, this group contains the IP address of my computer. I have one domain, Amazon.com, in the whitelist. I have defined a range of hours where the filter is active, and now I will enable the blanket block. When I restart the web filter, I will see that the domain in the whitelist can be reached, but every other domain will not be reachable. So we can try to go to Amazon, and Amazon can be reached. But for example, if we try to go to SecPoint cannot be reached because blanket block is active. If we remove Amazon from the whitelist and we restart the web filter, we wait a few seconds for the web filter to come up again. Then, if we reload Amazon, this website will be banned as well for the same reason. In this firmware, we have added a function to release multiple emails at once. If we go to the quarantine window and we search, for example, for some emails, we will find here on the left side a checkbox. This checkbox is useful when you want to select multiple emails and release them. Now I have released 3 emails here, and in a few moments I will see these 3 new emails coming in the protector again. And here we are, we have these 3 new emails just released. Last thing we have changed, if you haven't noticed, is the home page, where we have given more space to the module control panel and to the graphics. We have done this to make the home page a real control panel, to have all the protector's functions and graphics at a glance. We have also changed the style of our menu, and we have added here a link to the VIP lounge. Now this link brings to the login page of the VIP lounge, and we are planning to avoid to enter user ID and password and make this link a pass-through to the VIP lounge. As usual, we invite you to read the release notes document that we have issued with this firmware and contact support for more information. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time. Bye bye.